A very good evening, friends. I hope you're all doing safe as well as healthy. Well, I have been talking on the various aspects of India's 10 in a couple of videos in this month. And in the previous videos, I have been focusing more on the adjusting events, wherein we have seen that there are cases in para number 9 which tells us that there are certain examples that these are adjusting events, and then there are certain cases where an assessment needs to be done. We need to evaluate the facts of the case and decide whether it's an adjusting event or not. I thought let's also in between have a look at what is an example for a non-adjusting event. So in this particular video, we're going to look at what does the Index 10 say as far as a non-adjusting event, and let's also take an example for the same. एक बड़ी मशहूर कहावत है और इसे हम कहते हैं a stitch in time saves 9. घड़ी की सुइयां चल रही हैं टिक 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 टिक, और आपको ये बता दें कि अनअकैडमी पर सब्सक्रिप्शन के अंदर राइज आने वाला है. इट कुड बी ऑलमोस्ट अराउंड 25% राइज कमिंग वेरी सून. तो अगर आप अपनी सब्सक्रिप्शन इस वक्त प्लान कर रहे हैं तो समय अच्छा है, क्योंकि इस वक्त आपको सब्सक्रिप्शंस के अंदर अगर आप प्लस और आइकॉनिक बैचेस लेते हैं तो इसके अंदर आपको 6 मंथ्स पर 1 मंथ एक्स्ट्रा मिलेगा और 12 मंथ्स पर आपको 2 मंथ्स एक्स्ट्रा मिलेंगे. और इसके साथ साथ आप इस प्राइस राइज को भी एक तरीके से हेज कर पाएंगे, और साथ में आप मेरा कोड इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं CAKB10 और इस पर आपको 10% डिस्काउंट मिलेगा. यदि आपको कुछ और इसके बारे में डिटेल्स जाननी हो तो आप एक नंबर नोट कर सकते हैं 885 और 5 times 85. आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स के अंदर CA फाइनल के बैचेस के लिंक्स मिलेंगे फॉर ग्रुप 1 और ग्रुप 2, और आप उन लिंक्स को क्लिक करके मेरा कोड इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं और अपनी सब्सक्रिप्शन प्लान कर सकते हैं. तो भाई किस बात का इंतजार कर रहे हैं, आइए लेट्स क्रैक इट. Para number 10 says an entity shall not adjust the amounts recognized in its financial statements to reflect non-adjusting events after the reporting period. So I guess one thing is very clear, that there are no implications as far as passing any accounting entries are concerned. The moment we apply a 3-step model and we reach a conclusion that it is a non-adjusting event, in those particular cases, the para number 10 is very categorically telling us that there is no need, we are not required to do any adjustments to the amounts which are already recognized in the financial statements. So no changes to the existing assets, liability, income or expense. But of course, the accounting implications would arise in terms of giving a disclosure in the notes to accounts. I think let's have a look at one of the examples which is given in the standard itself as far as a non-adjusting event is concerned. It says an example of a non-adjusting event after the reporting period is a decline in the fair value of the investments between the end of the reporting period and the date when the financial statements are approved. Now, this decline in the fair value, it says, would not normally relate to the condition of the investments at the end of the balance sheet date, but they would reflect circumstances that arose subsequently. So the fair value has declined post the balance sheet date. So it is not relating to a condition on the balance sheet date. So the conditions would arise subsequently. So anytime you've got changes in the fair value of the investments, it becomes a non-adjusting event. And I think this is very pertinent, because if you look at the application of the standard, it's going to be spread in all other standards as well. So when you apply Index 109, you would take the fair value of the investments. So when you consider the fair value of the investments, it is valued on the balance sheet date. So if there is a fall which is post balance sheet date, and of course we are saying that in journal we are saying that it would not relate to any conditions on the balance sheet date, then it's a non-adjusting event. But let me also tell you that if those fall is something which is very material in nature, only then it would require disclosures which are required under para number 21. Not every non-adjusting event is worthy of disclosure. But it's only that once it is something which is material, it doesn't require passing an entry, but it certainly requires a disclosure in the notes to accounts. So that's all in this particular video. So wait for some more interesting inputs coming on this Ind AS 10. Thank you for watching. Bye bye and take care.